High-grade Universal Century Full Armor Unicorn Gundam. It's a big box here to go into from the side, and when you do that, what are you going to be getting? This is my first time building the Unicorn mode, but not my first time seeing this plate. This one is just going to be labeled over here as the high-grade Unicorn Gundam, whereas the other ones will have UM labeled up against it, so that it can set apart for Destroy mode and Unicorn mode here. In terms of the coloring, it's going to look almost a little bit purple, but it's going to be the gray that's going to be making up the inner frame here. You'll see the parts that you're going to be needing for the shield, which is going to come into play for 1/3 of his defense here. And you can see all the parts that'll make up the inner frame, the neck part over there. And you've got manipulators there, 3 of them, as you've got a regular hand and a trigger finger there, which will work out for the beam magnum. And the blue parts, all you're going to have there is the feet parts and those cool parts there for the backpack that are going to be folded up neatly here in his less distinct form. The B plate here is going to bring out the Unicorn mode over there on the label, and this is going to be identical to what you're getting with the first HGUC, the 101 release there. You can see the parts are going to be having 4 beam sabers. That's a nice touch up there, unless they're going to actually go together. No, they're all ready to go as is. And the all-important sides of the head and that face mask there, which is going to look less intimidating. But of more interest is going to be the unicorn horn down there. Make sure you cut off this part unless you're afraid of losing your eyes there. And these shields will be combining with some of the gray parts that we saw on the first part. This would be a nice Psycho Frame red and actually fold around. But in this case, it's just going to be sitting there solid. And these are going to be slightly different, it looks like, from what we're going to be getting with the full armor weapons further on in the plates. Identis C plates here, which are going to be bringing you all of the parallel parts. Usually you'd be getting something like a C1 or a C2, so Bandai well designed over there, as you're going to be getting the parts that you need for the legs and the shoulders. Lots of lining opportunities in there. I'm going to have to think about this, whether I want to go real touch or with a regular lining marker, or is simple going to be better if you want to accentuate all the weapons on the back and actually ignore the main coloring and the lining possibilities on the kit. You can also see down there a beam saber forearm attachment point. The D plate here is also going to be identical to the Unicorn mode, and it's going to be giving you 2 more dynamic open hands. Love it when they give you that on either the left and the right. These parts are going to be making up the bazookas there, so this one should be, we'll see if it's going to be different from the ones again on the full armor one to come. You can see the parts here for the backpack and the bottoms of the feet, which are not going to be very seeable next to the blue, which is really going to be his most outstanding color feature. Saber 6 here is from 2005 with PC 132, and with the plates that you just saw, the 5 of them, A, B, C, and D. Remember that this was 1,500 yen coming out in November of 2009, and what are we paying another 1,500 yen for? Color, in this case, it's going to be W for the weapons, I suppose, as you've got the A1 plate there. That'll be sort of interesting to see what other possible reasons they could have to mold this here. It is going to be labeled across the top as the Full Armor Unicorn Gundam. No mention of only Unicorn mode, which of course leads you to believe that we will be getting a Destroy one there. Still, the fact that we've got these molded individually, they're going to look great when sealed up on the inside. Love the fact that at least the traffic lights, even though it's only one color, are definitely going to be standing out. The WB plates here, 1 and 2, are going to be 1.75 plates, and the kind of thing that's a little bit exciting and disappointing at the same time. When you take a look at this here, you're going to have the parts that you need for the Gatling gun, 2, 2, and you already saw 2. So what they could have done is just given you 2 identical ones of these plates, and you would have had 4 Gatling guns. You wonder if the amount of plastic versus turning off the injection for half the plates is really worth Bandai's time. Nonetheless, they chose to just give you the accurate number in terms of what should be on there, as opposed to being generous. And you're also going to have the parts that are going to be making up the bazookas there. Of even more interest there, you already saw the red parts, and look at the open parts that are going to be looking very good there. This nice holder and down there for the leg attachments, they're going to be looking good when you actually go and put the covers on there. So you can get lots of sets of weapons down here. And the Gatling guns, this I think is going to be the biggest disappointment for me. When I cracked open the box here and I saw these Gatling guns, I said, wow, and then you realize that it's not even, you think that this would be a part, that would be a part, etc. No, you're just getting 2 big parts, and then you're going to go and put on the barrels. But it's the kind of thing, you remember when these were magazine chase items, that the Master Grade 1/100th, that they actually went to a lot of trouble, full plates there, cut in half, and then assembled. It just seems like for a high-grade Universal Century that even though they are well molded there, with some nice lining opportunities, edging there, and some good parts there to actually make it look like the barrels are different, nonetheless, it's going to be a little disappointing that we're just taking 2 halves there and slapping them together. And hey, why not just give us 4 if they're going to make us, if it's going to take that little time to put them together. Here we have the weapon C plates, which are going to be, well, whatever you want to call this fraction here. The big thing that catches the eye, though, is that there's a lot more gray that could be attached on over here. So you have to wonder, when we get the regular destroy mode version of the full armor Gundam, what'll be there? Could it be the hyper beam javelins? That would be exciting to see all the parts there that are going to be folding up. But in terms of the plastic parts themselves, you can see the stand down there is going to have these angled parts. I wonder if it's going to be variable where you actually attach it in. The shield parts there that are going to be going on to the W parts. The thrusters are not going to have magic red inside unless you want to go in and add it on itself. And you're just going to be doing a cool offset there to put those in. But the thrusters themselves, these parts up here are looking like they have some great details. And that frame mount back there is looking good. Can't wait to see how it holds all the weapons are and whether gravity is going to be a problem. Or did the omissions on the C plate just go along here to match up with an opening shield? We'll have to find out there. Here you can see the closed up shields that are going to be on the weapons D plate, and so you can guess that maybe in the future we might have the opening version. We'll have to find out there. These two plates are identical and some great details in there. I was impressed with this on the master grade, and it's going to be lasting through to the high grade. Looks like the etching here is going to be a little bit thin if you want to go and be lazy and just line it up quickly. You can put some seals down there. But how about this? The end of the rocket end, it looks down there, is looking fantastic when you plug in the gray parts there and the individual boosters. A lot of fun, and here's where you can see the attachment point is going to be quadding on there. The shield is going to be looking good. It always would be nice if they threw in just a touch of the clear parts just to show off that psycho frame. Nonetheless, it's probably going to look better when it's all sealed up and not distract you from the better version that we know is out there and transformable. And the final plate of plastic here, Weapon 1, this is going to be listed again for the Full Armor Unicorn Gundam specifically here, and that's going to be somewhat of a tail, I suppose, or a tell anyway. Over here you can imagine that they could send you two. It comes across as being a little bit cheap here, because for the Master Grade we got 2 beam magnums, and we're not even talking about anything that fancy. There's no nice blue parts are there, anything like that. So this is the kind of thing that we may have seen it before when you got him in his destroy mode, but the colors look to be just a little bit different here. These ones are going to be coming across as a lot darker from what you're going to be getting in the number 100 HGUC release. But you can guess that if we do get a future version there, you'd be able to go beam magnums and Gatling guns and shield all in hands as they attach on a second one. What else could be attached on there? Can't wait to find out. The seals at least are going to be interesting, as you've got that nice green laser eye, the opposite of a mono eye, I suppose, if you stretch it out there. And some scopes, etc. for the guns, and you're also going to have some pink polka dots there. I wonder about those. And you can see that you're going to have 4 stripes, so I guess 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, on either one of the boosters, looking good, and this is going to say unicorn mode down there. Love it when they differentiate. So looking at just the plates themselves, I wonder if there's going to be people there who are unhappy with the fact that these plates are going to be absolutely identical to the 101 release. No changes whatsoever, just comes across as being a little bit disappointing. However, at the same time, what we're really excited about is going to be the full armor parts there. When you see the plates, how do you read them? Am I speculating too much about a second release in the near future? We'll have to find out about that. But these look exciting if you can get past the fact that the Gatling guns are only going to be 2 pieces. Otherwise, it looks like everything here is going to be pretty exciting. Love the fact that the red is really going to be standing out and all properly separated. Very little help from seals whatsoever. The beam sabers are going to be here too if you do want to actually have them go and attack. He's at least got the bazooka in there, as they never included the beam magnum for this one. So chop this up over here as part of the full armor. Anyway, can't wait to see it in action. Fun stuff overall from the unbox. So for those of you that have already built up this Unicorn Gundam in its high grade form, why don't you let me know what you think of this compared to that? And of course, why not head over to GundamReviews.net? Simple question inside the post. Do you like this kit or not? And of course, stick around to see all the parts and it all put together if you want to hold off your vote until then. Anyway, everybody, Robert184, Gundam.tk, thanks for watching as always, and stick around. UC keeps on coming, and so will my videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Dude, when you get your second release, you totally gotta let me borrow this full armor set. We'll see you again in green in the not too far off future. Well, unless you Gunpla Expo'd.